Hi guys, welcome to my channel. And today, I will be reading a Midoriya X Reader by Susu on Tumblr. So let's get into it. Midoriya was in every right a sweetheart. He was a dream, heart pure, and love genuine, making you feel like you're on cloud 9 whenever you were with him. But his recent constant canceling of dates and time set aside for yourselves was proving to be too much for you. No matter how hard you tried to be understanding, he did not want to get in the way of your boyfriend's training. He didn't want to shut his progress. But you were growing tired of him not making time for you. You were taking the same course as him, and if you could spare moments from your schedule for him, it was only fair he would do the same. Yet, somehow, when your weekly outing together on Saturday rolled around, there was a text waiting for you. One of them canceling once more. This time, you were too tired being shoved aside. Mayan, I didn't have a choice. I had to. You did have a choice, Izuku. You always have a choice. And you made the one to cancel on me once again. What's so wrong with taking 2 hours of your day to spend with me instead of training? You're always training. Don't pursue a relationship if you can't balance one into your life. You screamed, making him flinch at your tone. Trying once more to calm you, Midoriya held your hand. I have a lot of catching up to do. You know that. He insisted. It did little to ease your mind. He snatched your hand out of his grip, making his face fall. You were the most behind in our class in the beginning, and somehow I saw you more then. And now you're one of the best, and you can spare a few hours once a week from me? We barely even see each other outside of class anymore. You had grown tired of waiting, and he could tell that. And it tore him apart to not be able to tell you. But you could not reveal his secret. This power was entrusted to him, and no matter how badly he wanted to explain to you why it was he was doing what he was doing, he could not. Moyan, just hang in there a little longer. I just need to learn how to. By the time you're done with your training, I'll have moved on with someone who can actually be what I need, Izuku. Because clearly, you're not being enough. He froze, staring at you with wide eyes at your statement, hurt peeking through his expression. Instantly, his eyes watered, a soft sob escaping him, as he tried to wipe away the tears that spilled. But they just kept coming. He just felt more and more guilty as he did. The words had flown past your lips before you even realized what you had said, and it instantly tore you to pieces. That you had heard your sweet boyfriend saying something so out of line to him because of your emotions. I'm trying to. Everyone can control their quirks, he whispered. And I just keep hurting myself when I use mine. I need to get better. But it's hard to balance things, and I'm sorry, Mayan. He cried, burying his face into his hands. As Midoriya snuffled into them, her hands reached for his shoulder, gently guiding him into you, letting him collapse into your arms. Oh, baby. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Izuku. That was too far. I shouldn't have said that. He whispered. He continued to let the tears fall, each one splashing onto her neck and adding more guilt to her conscience. While his quirk was powerful, it seemed to be a double-edged sword, and he knew it was going to hurt your boyfriend, that he could not get the hang of it. He had come far, but he still had a long ways to go, and your words were much too harsh after all he'd been through these last few months. I can't seem to be enough no matter what I do, he whispered. Not in training. Not with my work. And not with you. His body shook against yours. With another sob, cutting himself off as he spoke. Rubbing his back, he kissed the side of his head. That's not true. You insisted. You have grown more than anyone else here. And you always put 110% into your training. You're the sweetest boyfriend you could ask for. You're more than enough. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean that. I was angry. I promise. He clutched you tightly. Everything was pent up. He was never quite popular, and he spent the majority of his life being scorned. Sitting in the shadows, ridiculed for his dreams. It seemed almost too good to be true. That you, perfect and sweet, everything he dreamed to have, would pick someone like him when your options range with such better choices. All of the recent events had weighed heavy on his mind too. The training camp incident. All Might losing his powers. The slower than he preferred progress. The way he had been unintentionally neglecting you. Everything was becoming too much for him. And as much as he would like to confide in you, he couldn't. He couldn't tell you about the way on for all worked quite yet. He couldn't tell you he was once quirkless. And he couldn't face you as the reality son can. You could do so much better. But gently, your hands pulled his face out of your neck, palms cradling his face, catching his tears with your thumbs as they wrapped over the freckles that had grown to adore. I'm sorry, Izuku. Really, I am. Sniffling, he shook his head. He kissed his forehead softly, making the tension ease in his shoulders. I'm sorry too. I didn't mean to skip out on so much time together. It's just been stressful, he admitted. Nodding in understanding, he pecked his lips, making him melt even further. You're the sweetest guy I've ever met, and you're doing a really good job. You'll get there, okay? I promise. One day, you get where you want to be. But you have to balance things, alright? But I promise, you're plenty enough for me, and no one could ever replace you. I love you. You spoke quietly, letting him lean into your touch. And suddenly, a weight lifted off his shoulders, hope flooding his chest. He would be the newest symbol of peace. He would take the spot that he knew to take, and he would keep you safe in the process. Smiling, he wiped his tears, picking your forehead sweetly. I love you too, Lion. Grabbing his hand, you flashed him a smile. Come on, let's get you a break, alright? You need one. Midoriya followed you, a soft smile on his face, as he squeezed your hand tightly.